I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on pre-calculus where we are discussing linear functions. In part 1, we saw what are the basic concepts about linear functions, and related to that, we had solved 6 questions. Now here we'll look into some application questions. Question number 7 is linear function representing right bisector of the segment joining A 5 2 and B 7 4 is. You can always pause the video, solve this question, then look into my choices. To find the right bisector, we need to first find the midpoint of the line segment, then the slope, right? So the steps involved are to find midpoint, then we need to find the slope, and then we can actually solve the question. So let's find the midpoint of the line segment A and B. Coordinates for A are given to us as 5 2. Coordinates for point B given to us as 7 4. Midpoint is the average value, right? So the formula for midpoint is x1 plus x2 divided by 2. That is the x value, and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So those are the coordinates for the midpoints. So in this case, it will be 5 plus 7 divided by 2 and 2 plus 4 divided by 2. So what we get here is the points as 12 divided by 2 is 6, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the midpoint M here is 6 3. Now let us find the slope of AB. So slope M of AB will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, 4 minus 2, and 7 minus 5. That is 2 over 2 or 1. So that is the slope of the given segment. Now we need to find the right bisector. That means for right bisector, it is going to go through the midpoint M, it will be kind of like this, right, and perpendicular. So that is going to go through the midpoint M, whose coordinates are 6 and 3. And the slope for the right bisector will be what? Negative reciprocal, right? So it is minus 1 over slope of AB, right? In this case, minus 1. Now we can find the equation. Since we know the slope and the point, equation in the form of y equals to mx plus b. M for us is minus 1, x plus b, so that is the equation. To find the value of b, we are going to use the midpoint 6 3. 3 is the y value, minus 6 plus b. Taking b to the left side, we get 6 plus 3 equals to b, which is 9, right? So we get the y-intercept of the right bisector as 9. Now we know that b is 9 for us, m is minus 1. So we can write the equation as y equals to minus x plus 9, correct? So that is the right equation, which is option D for us, clear? So that is how we are going to get the equation for right bisector. Now let's look into the next question, which is the equation of a tangent to the circle x square plus y square equals to 25 at a point 3 4 is what? Now you can actually pause the video, try to answer this question, and then look into my suggestions. So here is a circle, right? So this circle x square plus y square equals 25 will have radius of 5, right? Any point on this should satisfy this equation. 0.34 does. So 0.34 will be 3 and 4 will be somewhere here, right? So a tangent means kind of like this. We need to find equation of this line, right? So let us say that point here is point P, which is given to us as 3, 4. How do we find this equation? Well, the concept is that tangent and the radius will be at right angles, right? So this will be right angles. So what we will do here is that we will find the slope O to P, right? So we will find the slope O to P, that means M O to P, right? And that slope will be at right angles to the slope of the line, right? So slope of OP is, this is 0, right? So it is 4 over 3. Change in y value over change in x value. That is the slope of OP. Is that clear to you? So slope of tangent is what? Well, the slope of tangent, let's say m, which is perpendicular, will be negative reciprocal, will be minus 3 over 4, correct? And we know it is going through the point 3, 4. So equation of tangent will be what? We can now write equation of tangent here. Will be y equals to slope minus 3 over 4 x plus b. To find the value of b, we'll substitute point 3 and 4. So 3 is the x value, 4 is the y value. So we get 4 equals to minus 3 over 4 times 3 plus b. Bringing it to the left side, you add 9 over 4 to get the value of b, which is 16 plus 9 or 25 over 4. Correct? So that is the value of b. Now we can substitute this value of b in our equation. So we get y equals to minus 3 over 4x and b is plus 25 over 4. Multiplying everything by 4 gives us 4y equals to minus 3x plus 25. Well, bringing it to the left side, we get 3x plus 4y equals to 25. 3x plus 4y equals to 25. Now, here again, we don't have any of these option. So we'll make this as positive. This is kind of, okay, 3x plus 4y. I'm making this as positive. Okay, now, and then that becomes a right option. So B is the right option. Where we changed the sign just now, we made it positive. 3x plus 4y. So that is the equation of the line in this case, correct? So it should be kind of as shown here, right? So I made an error in typing. So that is what it should have been. Okay. Now let's move on and take question number 9. Question number 9. Anil is starting his own business selling books. His cost for equipment and installation is $3,000 and his monthly average expenses average about $175. If his revenue each month averages $420, how long will it take to reach the break-even point? So what is a break-even point? So break-even point is when revenue equals to expenses. That is what a break-even point is, correct? Now in our case, we have two types of expenses. One is the fixed cost and one is the running cost, right? His cost for equipment and installation is $3,000, that is fixed. And his monthly expenses average about $175, right? So monthly, $175. So as far as the expenses are concerned, we have $3,000, which is fixed, plus $175 per month, right? So let me write this per month, right? And what is the revenue? If his revenue each month averages $420, so $420 per month. So times M, that becomes the revenue. Clear? That is how we are going to get our linear relation. Now here, number of months is something which we need to figure out. So from this equation, we can get the solution. So that's a linear equation in M. To solve this, let's take 175 to the left side. So we get 120M minus 175M equals to 3000, right? So which is 5. From 11, it'll be 4, right? And from 3, it'll be 2. So when you take away, that's what you get. So M is 3000 divided by 245. Correct? So you need a calculator to calculate this. Let's say, okay, so we'll get 3000 divided by, you could approximate also, 245 in decimals, it is equal to 12.24. So it is more than 12 months, right? So more than 12 months is required. In the options given to us, we have 1 year, which is 12 months. 13 months will be the answer, right? Since 12.2 suggests that in 12 months, you cannot break even. So it is the 13th month when you will break even. Perfect. So that is how we are going to solve it. Now here is the last question for us to solve. I'd like you to pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. Question number 10. A mixture of almonds and raisins cost $150. The cost of almonds is $20 per kg, and that of raisins is $15 per kg. Write a linear function to describe this situation. Graph the function. Explain the significance of the intercepts. Determine the mass of raisins if the mixture contains 3 kg of almonds. Now this is a kind of review of what all we have learned in this. So we are given a practical situation. We are mixing up two things and getting a cost, in this case, of $150. It's like a weighted mean, right? Let's try to understand how to solve such a question. So from this concept, let us say we have A amount of almonds, right? The last part here is determine the mass of raisins if mixture contains 3 kg of almonds. So we'll say let mixture contain A kg almonds and raisins, R kg raisins. Okay. Since we know their rate, right? So we can now form an equation that is A kg of almonds, which is in kg, right? And the rate being 20 per kg, right? So it is $20 per kg, right? So see, when you multiply this, you get amount in dollars. Plus, for the raisins, R in kg, their rate being $15 per kg, right? So that is their rate. So what you get is a rate total amount of $150. So that becomes the equation. It's important to understand the equation. So when you're multiplying amount with rate, what you get is the money, right? So dollars, that is what you get. Kg cancel. So you get money in dollars, and that is what the equation is. So I could write this equation as 20A plus 15 raisins, right, equals to 150, right? Everything is in dollars. Or everything is in dollars now. Is it clear to you? Right. Now, that is the linear equation, so that is part A for us. Write a linear function to describe this situation. Graph the function. Now, to graph this function, what we could do is, if R equals to 0, in that case, what happens? This is 0, right? So 20A equals to 150. So almonds will be 150 divided by 20, which is 7.5, right? Similarly, we can also substitute the value of almonds as 0. So if almonds equals to 0, in that case what happens? In that case 15r equals to 150, or r equals to 150 over 15, which is 10. Correct? So let us say on this scale we take almonds A along the x-axis, raisins are along the y-axis. In that case, the 2 points which we are thinking about, we'll write A first, which is 7.50, right? Here we are saying A is 0 and R is 10, right? So let's say this is 10 for us. So both almonds and raisins, they are in kg, correct? So these are the variables which we define. So what we get here is a straight line where if we do not use almonds, mixture is all consisting of raisins. In that case, we'll have 10. This is for raisins, right? R. So raisins will be 10 and almonds will be 7.5 kg, correct? So this line represents the mixture constituents, right? So the mixture of almonds and raisins can now be shown in terms of this particular line. Clear? So if you use a graph paper, it will be better actually to do this question. Now let's do part B, which is, we have already done the graph. Explain the significance of the intercepts. Now these are the two intercepts, right? So here we mean mixture is only raisins, right? No almonds. In this case, this point means only almonds. So that is the significance of the intercepts. Clear? So we have answered part B, that the intercepts will show you that if almonds are 0, then the raisins will be 10 kg, and if raisins are 0 kg, then the almonds will be 7.5 kg, right? So in this case, raisins will be 10 kg. Okay. Now let's do C, which is determine the mass of raisin if the mixture contains 3 kg of almonds. So now we are going to use this equation, and in this equation we know almonds now are 3 kg. So let me substitute 3 here. So we get 20 times 3, so what we get here is 20 times 3, so we are substituting here 3 kg, plus 15r equals to 150, correct? So that is 60, we'll take it to the right side. So that gives you 15r equals to 150 minus 60. So raisins will be 150 minus 60, which is 90, divided by 50, correct? So we get our answer, which is 6, right? Which is 6. So it is 150 minus 60 divided by 50. So we get 6 as the quantity for raisins, right? So somewhere here, let's say, the point will be 3, 6. Where the almonds are 3 kg and the raisins are 6 kg. Does it make sense to you? So that is how, using our function which relates to the given situation, the linear function, we can solve such questions. So for any quantity of raisins, we can find almonds. For any quantity of almonds, we can find raisins. So I hope that helps. Feel free to write your comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe to my videos, that'll be great. Thanks for watching and all the best.